question is for, I guess other people can answer it too, but I wanted to hear more from the Philippines and from Indonesia. In the last 10 years, 15 years, both these two places have had a huge drop in numbers of film productions, and then now with digital, the numbers have shot up again. But having the political climate, which is in a way a stalemate, in Indonesia, a kind of return of the new order, which maybe is a bit extreme for me to say. But can you give us, can you just chart the journey of what you see is going to happen in the future, now in the future?
Two things can happen, and two things are happening in the Philippines. One, we cannot discount the state anymore. The state is the producer of art. Okay, that's why this is the journey that I see right now. I just finished an LGBT film festival. It's an international pink film festival. I could not imagine from the day 40 years ago when I would bang the doors of Congress, we were called the gays in black, and let me just talk about the politics of color in terms of the journey that I've made, because it seems like there's talk about women and patriarchy and 21st century digital age. Let's talk, we are going to pulverize this whole spectrum some more. I'm going to represent here the LGBT voice. And now it is the state, it is our city government that asked me to organize an international LGBT film festival with, a nice windfall of money to bring in more than a dozen filmmakers from London, from all of these countries, right? Afford to rent these films and really show it in movie houses, which I now tweak as my kind of creative complicity with the state. Because let me finish my story of where I came from. We used to be the gays in black, would march our way and demand for the things that are being given now, even in America, same-sex marriage and adoption and all of these things. We were fighting for this under the noses of the military dictatorship. And now we call ourselves, the Pink Film Festival, celebrating the rainbow colors of our sexuality and gender. So the point that I'm trying to say here is, hey, are we going to keep our adversarial relationship with the state and with the government when it has all of the resources? I'm a tax-paying person. I think I've got entitlement now as I mature, because I used to be, as you must have seen in my early works, I was a person of the street documenting exactly all the anti-Marcos, anti-dictatorship events. I built my career around activism. But now, as I mature, I'm beginning to see the war is no longer in the streets, but in policies and in the corridors of power. Because if we are not going to do it, you see it in the papers, all these people, all these politicians, just get their money, put up events, and they don't even know what the hell those events are all about. So I'm standing for, what we feel. So now we just passed a law, and I was the one, doing the implementing rules and guidelines on how to implement what I consider to be Southeast Asia's first major anti-discrimination bill against LGBT, and I'm using the film festival in order to push for a public, discourse of our agenda, of our advocacy to a greater public. So one path, just to answer you, that path is working with the state, but not necessarily being complicit to it and, just say exactly, I'm not asking for any position in that government. But rather, what I'm after here is, and we need to really strategize ourselves, the resources of the state, which we are entitled to have, need to go to the right things. That's one. Number two is that the explosion of this rise of filmmaking in the regions is, I think, and does represent the most robust kind of film culture right now. I am looking at the island films that we are doing right now, but I am trying to do that also in some parts of Asia. Yearly, I'm in Kota Kinabalu to put up community cinema. I'm leaving for Hawaii, in Lanai and Oahu to put up community cinemas. So I think this decentering of film culture from cities and bringing this now into community cinemas, this is something that I've envisioned 40 years ago of where cinema should be going. So I'm very schizophrenic, if you may say, where I'm going. One, we need to take a good look at what the state and its role is in terms of cultural development, and two, see exactly the real people. Is there a duality here? I would ask for more, in fact, than just this duality. So something very exciting is happening from where I come from.
Thank you very much. And that passionate note makes for a very suitable ending to our discussion. We run out of time, I think. Oh, no, don't apologize. We've run out of time, and really, I think 4:30 is when we're going to screen it, so we should all take a break. So let me now just thank you for being a great audience, and please join me in thanking this wonderful panel that has stimulated so many ideas today. Thank you.